is the silent killer of strength. It doesn't stop you instantly, it slows you down, forces you into overthinking, and drains you without action. Most people don't even realize they've lost their power because it doesn't disappear all at once. It fades in the moments they fail to decide. That is why those who leave a mark in history are not the ones who make the perfect decision, but the ones who act at the right moment. Because power is not revealed in thought, it is revealed in action. On a cold January night in 49 BC, Julius Caesar stood at the edge of the Rubicon River. What lay before him was not just water, it was a boundary, a sacred law of Rome that he was about to break. The moment he crossed, there would be no return. Behind him stood a legacy of honor. Ahead, only two outcomes: absolute power or execution as a traitor. This was not merely a military decision. It was a gamble with fate itself. And in that moment, the weight of history rested on a single step. Most people reach their own Rubicon in life, and they stop. They think, they hesitate, they delay, and ultimately, they do nothing. The safe harbor slowly becomes a prison. But Caesar did not wait. He did not hesitate. With a cold, unshakable resolve, he whispered, "Alea Iacta Est." The die is cast. From that moment on, there were no more choices, only consequences. Today, we explore the Rubicon strategy of one of history's greatest executors, Julius Caesar. You will discover how burning bridges, eliminating options, and killing hesitation can transform weakness into unstoppable power. Because sometimes, the only way to win is to remove the possibility of turning back. What terrified Caesar's enemies was not merely the size of his legions or the discipline of his armies. It was Celeritas, his lightning-fast execution. He was not just physically swift on the battlefield, he was mentally ahead of everyone else. While his enemies were still weighing possibilities, Caesar had already decided, acted, and begun shaping the outcome. His presence alone created pressure, because speed is not just an advantage, it is a psychological weapon. In the world of strategy, speed is not about moving quickly from one place to another. It is about eliminating your opponent's ability to respond. The human mind slows down in uncertainty. It hesitates, it doubts, and it makes mistakes. Caesar exploited this weakness massively. While his enemies were still debating their defenses, he had already crossed their borders, disrupted their formations, and trapped them inside their own indecision. True power lies not just in making the right move, but in executing it at the precise moment and with a speed that denies any reaction. If you are going to act, waiting for perfection is often the greatest mistake. A delayed perfect plan is worth less than a timely imperfect action. Caesar's lesson is clear. Speed is intelligence in motion. Making a decision is one thing, but executing it is a different kind of power. And those who possess that power don't just play the game. They rewrite its rules.
Caesar's crossing of the Rubicon was not just a military move. It was a declaration of irreversible destiny. In that moment, it wasn't just a river that was crossed. It was the breaking of ties with safety, with the old order, and with the comfort of hesitation. To turn back would have meant surrendering to weakness. Caesar refused. He did not anchor his fate in possibilities. He anchored it in certainty. And that is why the crossing of the Rubicon became one of history's most powerful strategic messages. You either win or you cease to exist.
The human mind always seeks an escape route. As long as it knows there is a plan B, it never commits fully. The possibility of retreat weakens the intensity of action. But when you eliminate the path back, your mind begins to operate differently. You no longer hesitate between choices because only one remains: forward. At that point, fear stops being a force that holds you back. It becomes fuel that drives you ahead. And this is where true willpower is born, where retreat is no longer an option.
Caesar burned the bridges because too many options paralyze the mind. Multiple paths create doubt. A single path creates clarity and strength. As long as failure remains on the table, your mind will always find a way to justify it. But when you remove it as an option, victory is no longer a possibility. It becomes a necessity. That is why the greatest transformations happen at the edge of greatest risk. Because sometimes the only way to survive is to leave yourself no way but forward.
Power is not built merely by giving orders, holding titles, or ruling from above. True power takes root in the hearts of people, not just in their minds. Caesar understood this better than anyone. He built an empire not only on maps, but within the belief of his soldiers. Because a leader is not as strong as the authority he holds, but as strong as the faith others place in him. And faith is not forced, it is earned through example. Caesar's strength did not come from his throne, but from the unwavering determination in the eyes of those who marched beside him. He transformed generalship from a role into an identity, a brand, a symbol, a legend. He walked through the same mud as his soldiers, slept in the same cold, and endured the same hunger. By knowing their names, he showed they were not just soldiers, but individuals. And when the spoils came, he shared his portion, sending a clear message: I am not above you. I am with you. This is what set him apart from ordinary commanders. People follow orders, but they fight for leaders who make them feel valued. Caesar was no longer just a man. He became the embodiment of an idea: invincibility, loyalty, and destiny made flesh.
People obey a commander, yes, but they give their lives for a legend. No matter how perfect your strategy is, it is only as strong as the loyalty of those who execute it. Without loyalty, plans collapse. With it, even the impossible becomes inevitable. That is why charisma is not just a trait, it is the armor of strategy. Caesar understood this. Before conquering Rome, he conquered the soul of his army. Because a true leader wins hearts first, and the world follows after.
Your mind is your true Rubicon. There comes a moment in life when an invisible line appears before you. On one side lies comfort, routine, and the dreams you keep postponing. On the other lies risk, uncertainty, and the decisions that will transform who you are. Most people stop at that line. They hesitate and slowly decay at the edge of their own potential. But a rare few step forward despite the fear, because they understand this. Destiny is not written for those who wait. It is claimed by those who act.
Your Rubicon is that critical decision you are afraid to face right now. It might be leaving something behind, starting something new, or breaking free from a system that limits you. Staying on the shore feels safe, but that safety is a slow collapse. Crossing the river is risky, but it is also freedom. Because irreversible decisions reveal your true strength. Hesitation is the mind's most subtle chain. It drains you without movement. But the moment you break it, you are no longer the same person. You become the force that shapes your own fate.
Remember, history does not remember those who waited at the shore. It remembers those who cast the dice. Burn the bridges, erase the path back, and kill hesitation at its root. Victory does not belong to the perfect. It belongs to those who dare to take the final step. Master your mind, or someone else will. This is ancient strategy, and here, power begins with courage. If you want to build your own empire, step forward now. Stay strategic.